I had only one comic book come in this week at House of Secrets. So of course that's all I bought, right? No, of course not. But we will get to that. Let's talk about, welcome back. My name is Grant Pachoco. This is a Solo Promoter YouTube channel, and on this channel we mostly talk about tabletop pro wrestling games, but we also talk about comic books because I like tabletop pro wrestling games and I like comic books. And I got to talk last night at length about comic books with my good friend Matt. I'm going to call him my friend. I'm going to call him my friend, even though we've only ever talked in person for about an hour one time. But I'm still calling him my friend. My friend in comics. Matt likes comics. That video is now available. The live stream, I showed off some of my comics from my tiny collection that I am slowly rebuilding. But yeah, if you want to check that out, I will put a link to it here. It's like probably covering my face. If I remember to put in that link. If not, just look on my channel because it's in the collaborations tab. Comics that I got last week and what I thought of them. I got this comic last week, which is Daredevil #4, and I got it through my Marvel subscription. And I've already talked about this book. I liked this book, but I always just like pointing out that I did get it because there was some talk of, because I had subscribed via mail to the other Daredevil series that was before this, whatever volume that was, and now I'm getting this volume, and I just like to say that that is working as it should, and you know, give companies that send out the comic book subscriptions credit when they're, you know, doing things great. Now I do have 2 issues of that because I don't want to wait until I get it in the mail, which I probably should. But all right, here are last week's comics. This was Wonder Man, my favorite comic from last week. I only got 3 comics last week. And I believe this is the end of this series, so spoilers as I flip through this. I like this series a lot. I thought this series was fun. I am not a ginormous Wonder Man fan. I remember when I started getting into comics, like in the 90s, they redid a Wonder Man series, and I remember I got #1 and it had like a foil cover, and I maybe got 1 or 2 issues of that, but I didn't read a lot of it. But I liked this. I thought this was fun. And Jerry Duggan, who I know actually from the Nerd Poker podcast before I knew that he was in comics. But yeah, this was fun. It was a fun book, and yeah, I'll be on the lookout for more things. I kind of like this cover. This cover is completely different, I think, in art style. Maybe not. Maybe cover artists. Okay, there's 2 different cover artists, and then a different interior artist. I really liked this. I liked that it was, you know, kind of a noir thing. And what else I love about this issue is kind of everything wraps up in the mystery, the big what was happening wraps up within like the first couple pages, and then the rest of the book is just sort of like the aftermath and what happens that. And I always like that when they take time in comic books or in movies to tell a little bit of what happened, and TV shows I guess as well, after the fact. Yeah, so I like this. I thought this was great. And you know, it was fun living in the Los Angeles area, seeing some familiar sights throughout this series. Lots of fun, and I will be on the lookout for more Jerry Duggan stuff as I'm getting into comics. All right, I talked about this last week. Imperial Guardians. I was done with this book. The only reason I picked up this book was because Darkhawk was in it. And then I was just like, yeah, I'm not 100% into this book. And then that was for issue #4. Issue #5 hits the stands. I'm not going to get it, but then Death's Head is on it. And I've loved Death's Head. I just love the design of the character. I cannot tell you one fact about Death's Head. I believe he started as like a British comic character that was exclusive to British, and then kind of somewhat made a crossover. Anyway, great to see him in here. And then it turns out this is the last issue of this series, because the end of this is like, oh, well, we've done all we can do. We're breaking up now. So And then it was also, I did think it was very weird that, and I'm gonna give you spoilers here. The Imperial Guardians are sent somewhere to take care of a set, like they said, oh, there's scrolls there. They were given this mission that there's scrolls there, and they're all in disguise, and you have to get there. And so when they get there, they find this team that has Quasar, Century, who I don't know really much about, Death's Head, U.S. Agent, and then Night Watch. I don't know Night Watch. I don't know Century. The other three I kind of know about, but I was like, wait a minute, why is, like, this is an outer space team. Why is U.S. Agent with it? I don't know what's happening with U.S. Agent, but I guess apparently he was on this Guardians team. And it becomes a big whole thing with, like, a big double cross. I don't think it works 100% correctly or 100% well. It's fine. And I was surprised. I mean, I picked it up for Death's Head. And there was some thought when I was reading this. I was like, oh, are these scrolls in disguise? And I mean, it turns out they're not. And then there's like sort of this twist, but then they just kind of wrap up this thing, like it kind of ends. And I was like, well, see, the end for now. And I was like, well, okay, I guess I won't be buying more copies of these because, not that I would anyway. I only got this. Anyway, it was a little bit of a letdown, is what my big long thing is to say. Spider-Man Long Way Home. There were 2 comic books that came out last month. Spider-Man Long Way Home, and then it was a Brand New Day. I don't know. I liked one of them. I didn't like the other one. This is the one that I did not like. This issue was a little bit better, but it wasn't fantastic. So I may not get the next one of this. I don't know. Like I just started, like it was like, okay, all right. I don't know. Yeah, it didn't catch me. I was waiting, and I keep thinking I might have missed that other one, whatever that other one was. I got to look up the name for it. And I was like driving away from the comic book store today. I was like, did that other one come out and I'm totally missing it? I'm gonna have to look and see if it came out. All right, here is my House of Secrets bag. I go to House of Secrets in Burbank. That is my local comic book shop. There's another comic book shop called Emerald Knights, which I sometimes go to if House of Secrets doesn't have what I'm looking for. But House of Secrets is the one I'm loyal to. You'll notice that this bag has a little bit of, there's something that's not comic booky in here. Now here's what I will say. I only had one book on my pull list come in this week. And then I saw that spinner rack that I talked about from last week. And you can pretty much guess what has happened. Here's the first thing I got. A mystery minifigure mini puzzle. These were totally an impulse item that was right at the front. It is a Lego thing, and it comes with... I think is this just a minifigure mini puzzle? I don't know if this is just a puzzle. I would hope that there is also a minifig in here as well. It feels like there is. I hope so, because that's why I got it. My cousin Kevin is huge into Legos, and so I saw this and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. I will send it up out to him, and I hope there's a minifig in here. Mystery minifigure mini puzzle. I'm worried that this is just a puzzle. I mean, he'll like it anyway, but finished puzzle is 6 inches by 6 inches wide by 9 inches high. Choking, yeah, okay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll report back. He will send me text messages. Okay. Apparently, well, here's what was on my pull list, and I'm very excited to read this. This is Alias number 5, I think. Yep. This may be the last issue, but Red Band Alias. Been loving it. And loving Jessica Jones with Typhoid Mary. So, excited to read this. And then I went over to that spinner rack, And I got a nice little run here. 175, 176, and 177 of Daredevil. All things I did not have. And so super excited to... we dared publish this, the most offbeat story of the year. $6.99, $9.99, $6.99, but House of Secrets is really cool. So because I have a pull list there, I get 20% off. And when you get 20% off, you also get 20% off of these. So win-win. Pick these up. And then I saw this one, and when I was on Matt Likes Comics, I talked to someone in the chat, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting who, mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy. And I was like, oh yeah, I used to watch Guardians of the Galaxy too. So I saw this on the rack. It's issue number 17, first issue of a brand new era. I think like when I saw this, my brain went, oh, it's the number 1 issue and it's only $4.99, but this is not the number 1 issue. But I liked this team. I thought this team was a fun team. A lot of pouches on there. 1991, right in my sweet spot of starting to collect comics. So there you go. Those are my pickups. Not a long video because there's not a lot of pickups to talk about. These I will probably not have read by next week, but this one I will, and I will let you know how this one goes. But that's basically it. I don't have much else to tell you other than thanks for watching. Check out my chat with Matt Likes Comics. I'll link to it in the first comment. I'll put a link to that video. But there you go. All right. Thanks, friends. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.